Happy hump day, everybody. Wanted to do a video today around different types of tents, shelters in general. This year, I think a lot of people realize that being outdoors has its benefits, and camping, I think, this year has picked up quite a bit compared to previous years. Being stuck indoors, people are realizing that they can be outdoors, they can do a lot more. So it's a good get some fresh air, get away from your everyday routine. It's a good break in general. And today I wanted to do a quick video about different types of shelters. A lot of people, they ask, why do you have this, why do you have that, why this and why not that. So it's a matter of perspective of the individual. There's no such thing as a right type of shelter or a wrong type of shelter, as long as you have a good night's sleep and you don't regret getting drenched or whatever it may be, a negative experience. And if you do have a negative experience, you learn from it. So to kind of get things started, I wanted to talk about first the most basic shelter. This is a Unigear Tarp. It's a fairly big tarp, and I've set this up in an A-frame folded halfway, and it serves a great purpose. Very basic setup, quick and easy. It's just, you have your one stake here, one stake at the end. You fold it in half, and from there you tie off the center point there, the top here, and you have this amazing space on the inside. And what I've got here is my old tent. I had the base sheet, so I cut that off because it was no longer needed, and I used that as ground. And then underneath that I have my sleeping pad foam and one of those car Reflectix sheets. When I'm not using it in the car, it serves a great purpose. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of money to go out and have fun. And a lot of times people get absorbed in, I need to have this, I need to have that, I can't go do this because I don't have the money or resources for this, right? So again, just going back to it, work with what you have. You don't have to go out and spend the money or spend a lot of money. A sleeping pad, you can get something like this from Five Below. You get a 5 double it up, $10. There's your nice sleeping pad, right? So going back into this really basic tarp setup, I am 5'10", and I can sleep here comfortably, as I did last night. So, and it gives you also room, here, if it does come in and you get caught in the rain, you can actually take this portion and you can bring that up, and you can close off, bring this part up so the rain does not get in. It's good wind protection, and also you can cover this front part up with another small tarp or one of those Mylar bags. I always carry one. They're not that expensive, and always good to have on emergency. So this is a very basic setup with a tarp. Now the most traditional setup is here, and I've done a video on this. This is a one-person backpacking tent. This is a Walmart $27 investment. It's a one-person backpacking tent, which I've used for my motorcycle camping trip up in New Hampshire to Mount Washington. And I spent a few days camping in Vermont National Forest and up in New Hampshire. And it served a great purpose. I did not have any issues. Everything has its pluses and minuses, and we'll get into it. But this is a one-person tent, and it is one person. I kept my gear, my helmet, jacket, everything in here when I got off for the day. I kept all the gear inside the tent, so it doesn't, in case it rains, I don't have to worry about it. You know, you're limited with space, but you do have a vestibule which I've rolled up, and it comes down to here. So you get quite amount of space. If you don't want to put it inside the tent, you could put it in the vestibule. The downside of this is that it does get pretty hot. Once you close the vestibule, it gets pretty hot on a summer day. You know, you have that big vent mesh, and then here on the side you have another window, but it is not enough. This is a single wall tent. It's great because you'll have less issues compared to a ventilated tent. You know, this is a one person. This here is a 3-person. I didn't want to set this up for the video, but you know, you get the gist of it. That when you have a rain fly, the top mesh, it gives you a lot more breathing room, but it also that can have a downside is you don't want to wake up in the middle of the night if it starts raining. Right? So you have to know what suits your purpose. So this is, you know, the most common option. It's not expensive by any means. And it serves its purpose really, really well. Here, the third option is a teepee. This here, you know, it's more expensive than your one-person tent from Wally World. But, you know, if you're looking at different types of teepees, you know, you get a lot more room here compared to a one-person tent. You know, the teepee has room for 2. This also comes with a stove jack, so if you need to light up a little mini stove, you can set that up in here. Single wall construction, again, lots of condensation. Just like the one-person tent, you have condensation here as well when you close everything up, but you get lots and lots and lots of room. So when you look in here, you have a lot of room, right? On a nice hot in summer and fall, you could leave one of the windows open. So you do have 2 ventilations in here, but you have 2 doors. So you could leave one door partially open and put a mosquito net or something along that line. And you know, this is plenty of room for 3 people to sleep inside. So it's fairly big, but again, as an example, you know, everybody has different opinions, different views. Ultimately, if you're looking to go camping, you have to figure out for yourself what works for you. And unfortunately, the downside of that is you got to go out and get the stuff and try it. Right? There's no harm, there's no foul. Eventually you'll know what you prefer. Compared to a tarp, it's completely open. You can close it with another tarp, but that's the best ventilation. Here you have in a one person, you get ventilation as well, but it does get pretty hot inside and builds condensation. Same thing here with this teepee. Now, if you're not you know, if you're not camping out for you know, on a trail or something, and if you're just looking to, like, you know, car camping has also become pretty popular, and you could go crazy. But if you're not, you know, if you're camping, car camping, you know, let's say on a road trip, like if you're doing a cross-country road trip, you can find a lot of different campsites where you can stay for free. I generally prefer the national forests. You know, Department of Forest Services, you know, will point out all different locations in different states, and a lot of those campsites will, you know, let you camp out there, you know, typically for free, sometimes with permit, sometimes without permit. Sometimes it's 3 days, sometimes up to 20 days. You know, in the state of New York, it's up to 3 days without permit. After that, you have to have a permit. West Virginia, I recently camped out there, and you know, they allow you to stay up to 21 days. Right? But if you're just passing through and you don't feel like sleeping outside and you feel comfort of a solid foundation, you know, nothing wrong with sleeping in a car, and you have to know how to go about setting things up, right? You have to know your car. And in that case, when you in your car, if you have the rear folding seats where they fold in flat, it helps quite a bit. So in that case, here in this scenario, we have a Toyota Yaris. This is a 4-door sedan, a 2008 model. And I'll show you guys, if I feel like sleeping in the car, I don't have to sleep in the driver or passenger seat crouched up uncomfortably. I could go in my car and here pull the seat down, so now I have all the access in the trunk. And I've used in other videos why I have those water noodles, because sometimes I haul stuff on the roof of this car, such as crates and things like that, and they serve its purpose, right? Again, it's not about spending money. You can go out, if you have the money, go ahead and spend it by all means, but you could also be creative and know what you're doing. Obviously, you don't want to end up hurting yourself, or worst, somebody else, but when you are creative, you will find solutions. So here in this case, once you bring the seat down, I can easily get in, slide my feet into the trunk, and I have a lot of room. This is almost over a foot clearance here, and I can get in, and now I'm laying flat comfortably. I have enough room to raise my feet up. If I need to, you can use the driver and the passenger seat in the front as a back support if you want to, or use it as a pillow if it's raised a little bit. So you can easily spend a night in your car if you're doing a road trip. So I kind of wanted to just give all these different options because they all work. They don't necessarily require you to spend a lot of money. If you've been thinking about doing any type of camping, don't be afraid. Go out there, but try all this stuff at home first. Be comfortable, know how to set up a tarp in different configuration, or one basic configuration that can withstand rain, wind, and keep you dry. Know how to set up your tie points, or if you don't want to deal with the headaches of a tarp, get yourself a one person tent, or get a 3-person tent. Here in this case, this is a Ozark Trail 3-person tent. $25. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of money. Sometimes people say you suffer, you get what you buy and what you spend. If you're going camping once or twice a year, you cannot go wrong with buying something at Walmart. Obviously, if you want to have something that's going to last a long time, you want to get some good quality material. But nothing wrong with it. If you're just starting out, there's no point of investing so much money into expensive gear, which you probably will end up using once a year or maybe once every few years. So just a quick video and view of different types of shelters that you can utilize. Again, you can stay in a tarp, you can use a 1-person tent or multi-person tent, a teepee, which is with its more space, abundance of space and comfort, or if you like the comfort of a foundation, you can sleep in a car. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, there's no right or wrong. Go out and try it. You don't have to spend a lot of money, and enjoy the outdoors. There's a lot more to offer. And again, when you go out camping like this, especially the Department of Forest Services, it's not necessarily free, right? We as taxpayers pay for that service. So go out and utilize what you pay for. Enjoy the outdoors. If you like hiking, or if you just like to glamp, go out and do it. Enjoy it, have fun. Don't be shy, don't be afraid, but give it a try. See what you like. If you don't like it, change it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you can leave your comments, questions, and we'll try to get back. Thank you, and have a wonderful